maintained by Zadiacus Harrell, a warranted deputy to Star Principal. And the main page of the online OPP can be found at the address that is in your chat box. Did everybody see that? The http://heraldry.ansteorran.org/op. Oh, good. Somebody added it back in. Okay, perfect. Yes. Well, everybody, if I can get you guys to go ahead and get that on your second devices and go ahead and get into that page. And it should look a little bit, should look very similar to this, unless you're on an iPhone and then it looks a little bit
like this.
Yeah.
Yay!
I don't think you're sharing your screen.
I'm not sharing it? Okay, hold on, let me a second. Yeah.
Stingy.
I know. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Can you guys see it now? Yay.
Yes.
Now we can.
Sorry about that. All right, so let me go back for a second. Okay, so there's the address, and there's, so everybody sees it now? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the OP is used for a variety of reasons. By sorting the information and using the interactive search, you can see all of the awards held by one person, all of the people who have received a single type of award, and all of the awards given by a specific crown. You can also search to see who received an award at a certain event or a certain date. There is also a link so you can search by group to see who in that group has what awards or honorifics. There are also a few other links that are on this page that you can discover on your own, but they're going to be outside of the scope of what we're going to be teaching today. So suffice to say that this page is the starting point for all things related. So everybody should be on this page right here. Okay. The OP is by virtue of the fact that it does record all rank in Kingdom, shows the Ansteorran order of the march, so that at a high persona event such as a crown tournament, the most current order of march can be used to present contestants and consorts to the crown. The order of the march can also be used for high persona activities at your local or regional events as well. Events to add that special flair or magic moment that makes the SCA so special to all of us. Okay, so how to use the OP? We're going to do a name search. So look for the name search link under the interactive search of the order of precedence. So it's going to be the third one down. And there, yeah, I will warn you that it is written really tiny, so it kind of can be kind of hard to see it.
Where did you go? Where did you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you go.
You guys see me? All right. Okay, so name search should be what we see now. Now, what we're going to do is once you click on the name search button, it should look, the screen should look just very much like this.
They're blank.
And it says people, and there's a little hourglass. So do you guys all see it? Are you guys all following me?
Yes.
You good? Okay, good. So we're going to enter so you would enter a person's name or a partial piece of that, of their name. So for example, tonight, our search is going to be for William Fitzbubba. And knowing that William is a common name in Ansteorran, there's a lot of them, the search would return many, many names for us to look through until we finally get to William Fitzbubba. So instead of that, we're going to use part of the name that's more likely to get us one or less of 10 results. So let's see what happens when we enter a partial portion of the last name. And we're just going to put in Fitz and a capital B. And if we wanted to do if it was a first name, we would hit this match start button, but we're not going to do that. That'll be for a later search later on. So in this instance, Fitz B is not the beginning of the name, so that does not apply. So on to the next. So look, so were you guys able to find it?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great.
Bye-bye.
Looks like he hasn't.
What's that?
It's bye-bye.
Yes.
Iola.
Looks like he
Yeah.
has an AOA, Heart of the Sable Storm, Sable Crane, Star of Merit, Silver Crescent, and a Pelican.
Yep.
Exactly. So all of his awards are listed on there. Plus, on top of the awards, there's also his the achievements that he has, showing that he does have achievements, and that he just recently received his Pelican in 2002. So
Oh, you can actually sort it too by the award type and the date.
yeah, you will
Yeah.
just a minute.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked it.
Hold on. Yes. And that's the best thing about this is that you're going to find that it's very, very user friendly, even though it seems at first kind of not. But you'll see it's really simple and easy to use.
What does the ranking mean?
If you look over here for the registration, you can see that his name and devices are also registered as well. Okay. All right. So let's find something a little bit more complex. And so we're going to do a search for Anai D. Montgomery. Oh, I forgot. Adorable Petite Anai Montgomery. And so see what you can find out. Since we don't quite know the correct spelling, we're going to try to shorten her name, and we're going to look either by her first or her last name. So first, we put in Anay, A-N-A-Y, and see what happens. Did anything, you should have gotten no searches, no names?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay, good, then you did it right. Okay, so a portion of her name, if you got nothing, then it should have came up with a search that it couldn't find it because it's not exact to the spelling. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at it a different way, and we don't want to do Anna because Anna will produce way too many results because there's way too many Annas listed in the kingdom. So we're going to do it by a portion of her last name. So we're going to put in M-O-N-T-G-O-M. So after putting that in, tap the search key. And that's the little magnifying glass on the end.
Or hit enter.
Or hit it.
Eleanor de Montgomery in Namron. Okay.
And what is the first one at the top that you see?
Anai
Yeah.
Eleanor de Montgomery from Namron.
Yep, go ahead and tap that.
Cool.
And you're going to see, now we can see all the details about that particular person. We can see that she has an alternate name and that she's currently associated with Namron. We can also see her ranking in the order of the march. She has a number of 122051008, meaning that this is the highest award that she has received. So she has a grant level award. With the earliest date awarded as a 10/5/205. And then we're going to look at the last award she received, which was her Sable Sparrow. And she also has an Iris of Merit, and a Star of Merit. And she has some knowledge of calligraphy plus other awards dating back to 1990. I think she's been around for a little bit.
But
I can totally vouch for her calligraphy and illumination skills.
So you can see here when you're looking for awards for people that this is a really good way to see what things that people have. So when the award recs come around, this is a way to find out what people are doing. And her illumination and calligraphy skills are quite well done. So let's see. Another thing to note is that we see that she does not have an achievement registered as of the moment. And we happen to know that she's currently playing in, and if I say this wrong, please correct me, Kim Noir?
Chimenois.
Noir.
Chinois? I didn't know. Chinois? I didn't know if it was French or not, so I just wanted to make sure. So this could be brought to the attention of the Intrepid Herald, who appreciates accuracy and a full OP record. So if she wanted to get those achievements, she could get those set up. But it's a nice way to see what people are doing in the kingdom. Okay, so now we're going to do an award search. So we'll go back up to that first screen where we did the name research. So you can do a search of any of the Ansteorran awards and honors. Is everybody to that screen? Back to the beginning?
Oh, shoot. I went too far.
Well, if you stay on the people search, actually at the top of the screen, it gives you other options for checking.
Right.
Yes.
We'll get to that in just 1 second, too. So, and that is a good shortcut to get in.
Yeah.
So this is going to give you all the names of people who have received a specific type of award. So click on the award search link at the top of the OP homepage, or click awards in the link that you were just talking about, or the OP banner if you're already in the search engine. So you will see all of the awards that any one group on the rolls have been given by the Crown of Ansteorran. This also, you guys see all of that?
Yeah.
This applies even if the recipient resides in or out of Ansteorran. And please note also that the awards honors must have been reported and recorded by Zodiacus. This is why court reports are so important for us heralds in the room. So now we're going to find out who is a member. So we're going to use the order of defense. That's what we're going to do for today. So go ahead and type in order of defense, and we're going to find out who is a member of the order of defense. So click on that link for order of defense.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah. And
Typing thing in Night of the Society and see how many people show up.
I think I still have a screen capture for the day that there was nobody on this page.
So the search is going to the search returns the following. So you can scroll down to see who completes the list of recipients of this Augustus order. And this list is going to be shown in date order received with the oldest at the top, which
Kaylin McRobb.
Who is the top one? Who do you guys see?
Kaylin McRobb.
Kaylin McRobb.
Actually, Kaylin and Miguel and Robin got it the same day. They're in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there.
But it's date first, then alphabetical.
Absolutely. So now you can drill down on the links, and you'll see what other awards and honors anyone on this list might have had. Or you can try to search for another award or honor. And this is all in this little top menu up here that you see. You guys can see my arrow. Okay. So now you can also find out who is currently associated with a specific group. So from the OP homepage, you can select group search, or from the OP search engine, click on the link that says groups on that top banner.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
You guys see that? A little.
And I ran to the railing. I witnessed the heart-rending drama.
Okay.
Dusty sees Bill standing on the sinking plane.
Who is that?
Something going in the background.
That would be Rod's laptop.
It would. That'd be great. Thank you.
Yes, Rod, would you please mute your...
Let me see if I mute this.
There you go. You got it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the search results will give you a list of every group in Ansteorran, both active and inactive, and in parentheses, to the right of the group name, you're going to see the status of that group. If it's active or inactive. In some cases, there are notes as to where the group is located and what happened to them, and a bit of miscellaneous information. So let's just look here for a second. We can look for, okay, so we can see that Border March is active and that Bringalot is in Austin, just in case people are trying to figure out where things are located.
Oh, nice. There's it here.
And then we're going to find the group you are looking for and click the link. In this instance, we're going to use Namron for today. So go to the bottom of the screen and select to or the next page icon to scroll down to find the link for Namron.
It's on the second page.
Yeah, page 2.
Viola.
You guys all got it? Cool. All right. So the result list. So the result is a list of people who have received kingdom level awards or an award that was recorded in another kingdom that all live in Amron. So here you can also see the location, the registered arms and achievements of that group. And below there is a list of those who are associated with the group. And this is current listing only. And if the recipient once lived in like group A and has since updated their location with Zodiacus to group B, then that recipient will only show that they're associated with group B in the OP. So
now
for
with this, I'm sorry. And I'm not listed there.
What's that?
I said I'm a former Baroness of that group and I'm not listed in that list.
So then you would send a email to Zodiacus so they can update it.
Okay.
So, for example, I looked at the
email as well because
and found out that it's
Namron's
wrong, so I
lovely
sent an email going, "You're missing my name." So yeah, and that's the good thing about this is that sometimes you want to go in and check your own information and just to make sure that everything is up to date and correct.
Yeah.
Also to let you know, if you have received an award from your current group, it will have you listed under your current group, not the group you were previously landed under. So it is an order of
either. And that's the only group we've ever played with. That's really weird. Okay, I'll have to contact them.
Yeah.
You're just not listed.
Yeah, that's just a matter of someone didn't hit a checkbox.
It sucks.
But we'll get you that. We'll get it taken care of.
Because it's like everybody and their dog knows.
Yeah, we all know who you are. So so when we were talking about Anai earlier, and we saw earlier that she was associated with Namron, but now we know that she lives in, and I'm gonna murder it. Yeah. Kimwa. If she updates her location with Zodiacus, then when you do a group search in the future for an Namron, Anai will not appear in that search. Instead, she will appear in Kimwa. So, and for example, Kat, if you're not listed there, so I would get in touch with Zodiacus and let them know that you're not listed in the group where you're associated with.
Okay.
They'll update that for you.
Okay.
But you are in the genealogies.
Yeah, we're listed.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So from here, you can also do a search on those people to see what awards and honors they hold. For example, we're going to click on the first entry of Abdullah Mohammed bin Allah Asani. Did you guys all find him?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's click on that name. So here's his information. It's all here. It's got his number. We know that his name and device doesn't look like it's registered. but these are the different awards that he has received. So it is the exact same page that you would get if you did a name search. And then from the initial group page, you can also pull a report in .csv right here in that little tiny corner, which will be in a spreadsheet format. And this report shows all of the awards for all the individuals associated with that particular group. And it is located next to the magnifying glass icon, right here in the tiny little corner spread part of the slide. Okay, you guys all got it? Does everybody with me? Because I don't want to go too fast.
No, you're fine.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is what that spreadsheet looks like. And this is the search you would use if your group, so say for example, your group doesn't have an OP, or if the OP needs to be updated, then you could add local groups, honors, non-homogeneous awards to it. You can keep the OP as a spreadsheet or a Word doc and update it as needed, such as after every local or regional event. This is a nice way to be able to do record keeping for your group. Now we're going to do an event search. And this search is used to find out what awards and honorifics were given to whom at a specific event. This is especially useful when a local herald missed an event where awards were given out and members of the group received awards. Like, for example, say if somebody went to Penzic and there was an award given, or they got an award at Gulf War. It could also be used to see who got what in an event that you may have even missed. And again, you'll find it under the event search key at the beginning, or in this in the same bar as before. And there's the link for it at the very top. And this shows a list of all the events that we have court reports for. And yes, it's a very long list, because you guys can all see how long that is.
Uh-huh.
And it shows each individual event by date. And you will see that Gulf Wars is listed in here multiple times, for example. This search is really only effective if you know the specific event down to the year, or you can at least narrow down the possibilities of one or two events. So we're going to locate an event for which you are wanting information. And so in this example, let's look at a Bjornsburg Feuding Families event from February of 2020.
Okay.
You guys all see that?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys can click on it for a second. And now you can drill down on those lists to see what other appliques they have been given. And the information will display just as it appears, like a name search. Do you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody was wanting to know who was who got Premier Bard for this particular event, that's a way to be able to do it. All right, so now we're going to search by date. And this search is very similar to an event search, but the only difference is that you're going to search for awards given on a specific date. This is handy when you know an award was given on a certain date, but you're not exactly sure what or the event was. So we're going to click on the event search link from the OP homepage, or you can click on the events link that's on the banner of the OP search engine that we were in. Okay. So here's the results. And so this slide is just showing where the events are. And we're gonna see where it's asking you for the year, date, and month. And for example, we're going to put in something very recent, which was April 25th of 2020.
2020.
So there was a court that day. Ta-da! And there were lots of awards given out.
My
So
phone hates me.
What's that?
My phone hates me.
Uh,
My dates page is no awards found.
Oh, I found them online.
It's my phone. It hates me.
You have to type in the or rather on my phone at least it pops up with a little calendar and you choose the date.
Yeah, that's what mine
Go
did.
back and forth.
Okay. It's good to know that I didn't know that on the phone. So it gives you a calendar to search for.
Yay.
Okay, so does everybody see it now? Are we good? Woohoo, yay. Okay. You can see the names, the name of the recipient, what award was given, what the name of the event was, and any notes about the recipient or the award. So, for example, we have Angelina Francesca Dinardi, and she received a sable thistle for illumination. Do you guys all see that? Cool. Okay. Then you can also drill down to find out more about the recipient, the award, or the event. So it puts you back into that similar screen before, like the name screen that you saw earlier. Okay, and then we can search by crown as well. And this search is new and unique to the online OP. You can only get it from the OP search engine. There is not a link to it on the front page. This search shows all the recipients, the awards given, and the dates of that award in reverse order. So from the OP search engine, you're going to click on the crowns icon. Do you guys all see the crowns icon? Okay. And then it's going to give you a list of the coronation and when they stepped up. So here's the screen that you'll see. The reigns are listed in reverse chronological order. The last or most current reign is listed first. The reigns are numbered going back to the Principality of Ansteorran with an additional 2 sections for those who live or have lived in Ansteorran and received accolades from another kingdom or principality. This looks pretty long. Okay, so we're gonna select the reign for the information that you want. So in this example, we're gonna look at Miguel and Connell's reign, which will be, click on link 80, which will say Miguel and Connell 2018-1013. Do you guys all see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Now, is that reign the year of Ansteorran, like the 80th year?
It's calendar year.
No, that is actually the number of the crown.
Okay,
And what,
okay.
Yeah. So that is So here's what happened during the third reign of Miguel and Connell, and the search returns the header and the information, the official name of the crown, the reign number, which we were just talking about earlier, that number 80, a short tag or nickname of the reign, the coronation date, and the status of the group, kingdom, or principality, or foreign. And it all slides directly across this spreadsheet. So it's pretty easy. So this is reign 80, right there. Miguel III, coronation, status, and who the people are. Okay, so you see all that, Ian?
Huh?
Okay.
And all this list of people below them, that's the awards they gave out.
And that's all the awards they gave out for their reign. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, all of their reigns, because this goes back to 1977. Holy crap.
It goes back to 1977 because they invested a baron and baroness that had their start date in 1977.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see that.
Okay. So the list is automatic. This list automatically defaults to alphabetical order by first name. And by clicking on the name, the award, or the date header, you can rearrange the appearance of this list to help you find the needed information more quickly. So, for example, go ahead and click on the award header, and it's to show the following results. So clicking on any of the links in the name columns will also take you directly to that person's OP listing as if you had done a name search. And clicking on any of the links in the award column will take you directly to the award or honorific and will return the listed names of the recipient of that specific award or honorific.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then if you click on the date column, it'll take you directly to the list of recipients and awards given on that specific date. So, like, for example, you wanted to know, I don't know, a certain date 10 years ago. What happened on this particular date? It'll be able to pull all of those up for you.
Nice.
Okay, so in conclusion, the importance of the OP to the kingdom cannot be overstated. It is a central record that allows the kingdom to track who has received what awards, who holds what rank, who precedes whom in the march of the order of precedence. The OP is also important to the kingdom populace because it is a publicly facing document that allows them to see who's received what awards and, more importantly, who has not received awards. One of the greatest frustrations for the crown, territorial barons and baronesses, and the recipient is when someone is called up for an award and when it's read off by Golden Staff in the group, and people blurt out, "I thought they had that award already," or they say, or the person comes up and says, "I already have that award."
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is why our crowns beseech the populace at every court to send in award recommendations. So the OP is your best friend when it comes to doing these award recs, because all you got to do is just go to the OP, put in that person's name, and then you can see what they have or what they don't have.
Yeah, this is a nice tool.
And it's just a nice way to do this, to be able to do these searches. The OP is a definitive place to start when recommending an award for something, or even if you're autocrating an event and you want to do a processional at your event, this is just a great way to be able to find out the order of how people are to process in. The OP is also a starting point for scribes when researching the correct spelling of a name for a worthy person who's getting an award. They can check to see if the name is registered, the correct spelling of the name, or if the recipient has a registered device or achievement along with other things.
It should be pointed out that the spelling in the OP, which will be the registered spelling, is not necessarily what the person goes by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had that problem. I looked for my name earlier and it wasn't spelled the same for sure, but it's there.
Yeah, His Grace Jean-Paul Deschamps received one award as his mundane name, and that's in there. And he received one award as Jean-Paul Depel. That's when he had a torn ACL, so he was limping around on two crutches and one leg for about 6 months. And that was inked onto his award.
And you can also see, because I had a completely different name at the beginning when I first started in the society, so I have a completely different name on record. And so both of those records are on the OP under my information. The OP has even come in handy when heralds gather to comment on name and device submissions, and it's really very important. A quick search for spelling, group affiliation, or whatnot can alleviate the need to return a device to the submitter. Bordeaux and Asterisks can quickly contact that submitter or the consulting herald for necessary information and send that paperwork up the line, thus saving months or even years in the submissions process. And I know this firsthand, I've seen it. The group search is a powerful tool for local heralds who can use this to verify their group's OP, keeping it current, and this is why there is a checkbox on that report form asking if your group OP is up to date. And this is where to start if it isn't. And the online OP will be a powerful, useful tool to your SCA heraldical career, or it can be helpful for anything in the SEA. So, any questions?
Yes, you mentioned earlier that there needs to be something updated. Who do we email about that?
You email Zodiacus Harold.
Okay.
And on this same page, there should be a roster there that we have that email address.
It should be Zodiacus at
Right.
Ansteorran.org.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to look that up because you have no idea how easy it is to misspell Zodiacus.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the very first page.
So if something's not correct or if something needs to be changed, then that's where you can.
Yeah. Contrary to what Sir Alejandro might say, Zodiacus is not spelled Thegreatzzod. And if you tell him I said that, I'll swear you lied.
Oh my goodness. Any other questions?
This is
what's
impressive.
Alejandro's email address? I'll tell him you said that.
Yeah, I don't remember when I first got into the SCA a couple of years ago. I don't remember the webpage being this so easy to navigate. I remember it being a lot more difficult. They must have fixed a lot of stuff.
It changed in the last month.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
We've done a lot of improvements because it
And Kat, you
Started
recorded
this.
everything tonight, correct?
Say that again?
And Reform Herald from 20 years ago. This is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Because I know that Reese wanted to see the video of this class.
Can I soapbox on something real quick, Val, or you got
Sure,
more coming?
absolutely. No, please.
All right. So for everyone out there who is a herald, either a heraldic officer or a freelancer, this tool is the most underutilized tool in the kingdom, and I don't necessarily mean that by the heralds. If you're a heraldic officer of any rank, part of your responsibility is to make sure your populace can use this, because I'm not joking. A very good friend of mine, his wife just received her AOA after 18 years. And their own baron and baroness had forgotten about it. Someone had to walk up and smack them up the head and say, she has no rank right now. Now, am I a little bitter about it because it's a good friend of mine who's doing great things? Yes, but my point is that this is the type of thing people need to know like they know how to drive a car. If they're going to play in the SCA, part of their responsibility, anyone's responsibility is to write award recs. You can't do award recs if you don't know how to check this tool. So it's on us, all of us, to harp on this. I'll shut up now.
And
I check it all the time.
Absolutely, and I back Ivo up 100%. This is such an easy tool to use, and it's not hard to be able to get in to go in and use it.
Not at all.
And once you utilize that you can use it and what it's for and how it breaks down, you'll be surprised.
Valerie, can I give a testimonial?
Sure, absolutely.
If I can get on this on my phone, Detlef's brain is where technology goes to die. If I can use this on my phone, and actually I have, oh God, Gabriel and Sonia's last reign. Devin came up to me and says, quick, I need to find out if so-and-so has an award. And come to find out they didn't, and they got it that day. And it's like, hey, it worked out, kind of cool.
We actually have bookmarks on our phones so we can look people up on a moment's notice. Being landed, it is a big responsibility to make sure your populace has awards. So, I mean, I have constantly open with the OP on it.
Yeah. Both Kingdom and Baronial.
And if you're a local group, I'd say about a month out from your event, I would strongly advise you to carve out carve out an event, a meeting time, get everyone in there. I don't care if you have to buy them pizza, and do here's a refresher how to check who has what awards. And if you type a name in and there's no name on the registry, it's a really good chance they don't have their AOA. I'll put the soapbox away, I promise.
It's a good soapbox.
And if you have enough chocolate and you bribe me enough, I'll come and teach this class.
Is the Zodiacus on the call or no?
You want chocolate chip?
What's that?
We lost somebody.
I think the Diacus is on the phone now.
Podiac is currently on the call?
You want chocolate?
No,
Nope.
I don't think it's here.
I know who Zodiacus is, and I don't think they're on.
I'm going to make a recommendation. One thing I'd like to see is the ability to be able to change what group you're assigned to, because currently I really don't know what flags that. Her Excellency has several local baronial awards and is not listed as a member of the barony that she's current baroness.
Wow.
And you're
Email
not.
Zodiacus.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Email Zodiacus.
There should be a
How many
way to-
members do we have in the barony that aren't flagged on there that they're part of the brand?
And if it could be a drop down or a flag, so where you could drop down and select your own group.
So
that- or if there was a way to have a form where you just click on it, select your name, and then select on it, then it sends a message to Zodiacus to update that, versus trying to remember to send an email, which honestly most.
I'll tell you what. Hang on. I know. I'm at my desktop. I'm pulling up an email right now. I'm going to send that recommendation because that's reasonable.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, it would be nice to have a drop-down menu so they can do that. I was thinking about that today.
Okay. The fact that I typed a Z and it auto-completed Zodiacus should tell you what I do in my free time.
And the Zodiacus Herald to talk about to see if they can get Nam on the Baroness listed as a Baroness, because she's on the OP, but she's not listed as a Baroness.
That's crazy.
Who's that? Juliana is not? She should be.
Juliana is not listed as a Baroness. I checked.
I looked up your OP, Kat.
Yeah.
And it doesn't show your branch. It has all your names, but it doesn't have your branch on there.
Right.
It should be noted that the branch element of the database was not part of the original OP listing. And that if you started before or during that development part of the site, you could have just been missed because you were existing data they didn't have a chance to roll in. I'm quite confident there was no slight or no oversight. I'd say we just have to triage what time a volunteer organization can put into updating all this.
Yeah.
Dad, how long have you been playing?
Since 2003.
Okay. The reason I ask is I remember the OP when I first joined.
Yeah.
That was an interesting paper document. We called it the Backbreaker. But I started playing in '97, so I was just trying to get some perspective on when you would have, in terms of development of the OP, when you would have come in.
Part of the problem is that I got my AOA and Meridias, and so then they transferred over here, and then they never assigned me to a group when they transferred me over here. So, because we played in days for 3 years before we moved here. So.
And then another part of it is that originally when the OP was developed and it was in the paper form, there was, again, no association for group. At some point on the Herald's report form, there was a section to put in the affiliation branch, and then that went by the wayside. So it's a hit and miss situation with the affiliation. And at this time, it's a Zodiacus thing. So you'll have to contact Zodiacus to fix it. But if we add the drop-down menu or suggest that the drop-down menu be checked or added or something to send Zodiacus an email straight from the OP form, then that would be much easier. So.
Okay, so Juliana, I have an update. Helena, I have an update for you. So what happened with Julia is what happens a lot. She started out playing by Julia Haidu, and she has an AOA by that name. But if you go into her name in the OP that she goes by now, which is Uliana Haidu, Uliana, it says her very first award is Barony and Fief, 1979 to 10. because she's the current Baroness. So it does have her listed as a Baroness, but you're probably looking at Julia's listing, not Juliana's.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
if you change your name, that's going to change
probably. I'm
everything. Yeah.
So when you, that's what happens if you change your name. Sometimes the records.
Everybody needs to be familiar with the OP. This is one of
Absolutely,
those
that's why I took
reasons.
the class.
Yeah.
Right. And then in a situation like Juliana's, where she has awards under 2 different names, and sometimes some people have under more, again, it's just an email or contacting Zodiacus saying, hey, can you link my OP records? And they will do that.
Because they could link Julia to Juliana, and then that would.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I was like, I know she has to be listed as Baroness. So.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. I appreciate it. Yay.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Lady Valerie.
Thank you.
Valeria.
Thanks everybody for coming, and I hope you guys will come to a bunch more classes. We've got a whole week next week scheduled, and I'll post in our group what class.
Nice.
Excellent.
Keep an eye out for that.
Everybody have a good night.
All right, everybody have a good night.
Hey, good night, y'all.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.